Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Friday, July 5th, state that Jada Hunter provided Rafe Hernandez with information on Robert Bobby Stein alias Everett Lynch's assertion that he may assist in solving a murder case. Rafe suspected Bobby of manipulating Jada and was concerned about her ex's mental instability, but Jada refused to go back for additional information and insisted on doing so alone. In the town plaza, Connie Valinsky approached Melinda Trask and apologized for previously blaming her for Lee Shin's death, stating that it was not her fault. On Friday's Days program, E.J. DiMera demanded that Stefan DiMera tell him where Gabi Hernandez DiMera was. E.J. wanted Gabi for his press conference and was unhappy since she hadn't returned from her trip to Arizona yet. Gabi agreed to attend the press conference after she returned and saw Stefan fighting with E.J. Stefan wanted to give a bone to his brother. Gabi pressed Stefan on Friday's DOL show to reveal Jude DiMera, aka Jude Brady's paternity, as well as his blackmail material. Gabi requested that they tell Eric the truth about his son, but Stefan begged her not to rock the boat again. Gabi appeared to agree with Stefan and embraced him, but she had a troubled expression over his shoulder. Back in the town square, E.J. was willing to give up control of his shares in order to persuade Kristen DiMera to choose Melinda as DiMera Enterprises' legal counsel. Kristen accepted the offer, but she wondered why E.J. was doing all of this. Melinda signed the paperwork, but she simply told Kristen that E.J. was trying his best for him. On Friday's Days episode, Eric Brady told Nicole DiMera at The Spectator that he had accepted a photography position at a famous magazine in Paris and would be departing today. Eric stated why he needed a break and why he didn't want to see Jude before leaving. Nicole also said that E.J. was aware of her drunkenly kissing him, which astonished Eric and left him wondering what he would do in E.J.'s situation. Nicole became sad and refused to say goodbye, so Eric decided they wouldn't say it. Nicole gave a small wave and cried as she saw Eric leave for the exit, wearing a sad smile. Eric also informed Marlena Evans of the Paris news following her visit to Bobby, and he promised Nicole a piece of his heart forever. When Jada returned to Bobby's baby room, he played games with her and attempted to bargain his release. Jada threatened to leave if Bobby did not reveal what he knew, so he finally acknowledged it was regarding Lee's case. Back in the town center, Rafe approached Gabi as she arrived with Stefan, saying he was there to support her at the press conference. Connie approached Gabi and expressed her happiness with her freedom. According to Connie, now that the real killer has been apprehended, Lee can rest easy. Gabi thought it was lovely of Connie to come over and make those remarks, while Rafe thought the encounter was odd. On Friday's Days program, Connie returned to the crime site and flashed back to stabbing Lee from behind, revealing herself as his true killer. Nicole appeared in the town square to cover the news conference for The Spectator. When Nicole overheard Melinda chatting to E.J. and became concerned, E.J. said that he only wanted to tell her about Melinda's new job. Although Nicole couldn't understand why Kristen would hire Melinda, E.J. lied, claiming that she did it to spite him. Once the press conference began, E.J. gave a speech on his part in obtaining justice now that Gabi was free and Lee's case had allegedly been finally resolved. When it was Gabi's chance to speak, she thanked her friends, family, and, most importantly, Stefan. Gabi only reluctantly thanked E.J. near the end, pointing out that he was the one who put her in prison in the first place based on faulty evidence. Gabi, on the other hand, claimed that E.J. released her due to his love for Nicole and frantic attempt to keep her. Nicole was perplexed, but Gabi maintained it was because Nicole was still in love with Eric, the father of her child. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, June 26th show that Xander Cook told Sarah Horton about his troubled relationship with Victor Kiriakis. Although Xander felt closer to Victor during the baby swap drama, he eventually concluded that Victor was simply using him to perform his dirty job. Sarah maintained that Victor loved Xander deeply, but he was troubled by Victor's refusal to acknowledge him in the will. Sarah was getting ready to send out wedding invites and asked Xander if he was certain he didn't want to continue his quest for his mother. Because Sarah was concerned about this, Xander devised another method for obtaining answers from Fiona Cook. Xander called Aunt Maisie and discovered Fiona had asked her for money a few months earlier. Aunt Maisie did not have a phone number, but she did have an address, which Xander eventually handed along to Sarah. On Wednesday's episode of Days, Bonnie Kyriakis discovered that Alex Kyriakis had proposed to Teresa Donovan and voiced anxiety after discussing her with Justin Kyriakis. Bonnie believed Alex could perform better, so Teresa overheard and complained about Bonnie's trash-talking. Alex had complete faith in Teresa, but he was perplexed by her unusual reaction when Bonnie mentioned that Sarah wanted to invite Xander's mother to their wedding. Teresa pretended she didn't believe it was a good idea to bring random strangers to town after what occurred with Constantine Melioni's, John Capello's. Bonnie suggested it didn't matter since Sarah couldn't find Xander's mother. Later, Sarah asked Bonnie for help addressing the wedding invitations and mentioned that she now had an address for Fiona, which made Teresa uncomfortable. On Wednesday's Days episode, Marlena Evans sought answers about Brady Black's sentiments for Teresa, but he believed they were irrelevant because she had chosen Alex. Brady was lost in thinking about his encounter with Teresa until Alex arrived and informed him that they were now engaged. On Wednesday's episode of DOL, Dr. Mark Green consoled Leo Stark about his disastrous prison visit with Diana Cooper. After offering a hug and a hanky, Mark introduced himself to Leo. Mark also dropped some suggestions, leaving Leo with additional concerns regarding his sexuality, but they were cut off shortly after. Chanel DiMera's cramps worsened, so Johnny DiMera and Paulina Price took her to the hospital for treatment. Unfortunately, a brief inspection revealed that Chanel had miscarried, so Mark gave the heartbreaking news to her and Johnny. Chanel erupted when Paulina received information on the awful shocker, claiming that it was all her fault. On Wednesday's Days program, Marlena managed to sneak in a few minutes with Leo in her office, during which he recounted his catastrophic visit to Diana as well as his interest about Mark. Mark soon called someone and told them about his difficult day at work. Leo eavesdropped and questioned Mark about who it was, but was unhappy when Mark revealed it was his girlfriend. Days of Our Lives spoilers claim Leo's love life will be full of shocks in the coming months, so stay tuned for more predictions. Of course, Bobby is claiming to have knowledge on a murder, and based on the preview for this week, it appears that he will be talking about Lee. On the one hand, perhaps he merely wants to play Hannibal Lecter to get Jada's favor. Perhaps he doesn't know anything about the murder. However, we admit that the suggestion that he was engaged in Lee's death is fascinating. Everett appeared immediately before the murder, which seems fishy. However, despite his coy reaction to Jada's question about whether Bobby committed the crime, it appears unlikely that he did it himself. It would surely not help him win over Jada. Also, what would his motivation have been? So what if he just observed something that could help the case? Perhaps he went to see Lee for whatever reason and noticed someone leaving the scene of the crime. If that's the case, we're back to the main question, who killed Lee? We've got a theory, and it's a doozy. According to Soap Opera Digest, Connie returns to the canvas on Friday, July 5th. Spoilers indicate that Jada and Rafe are investigating Bobby's claims. Remember Connie? She was Sloane's client, tossed a drink at Chad for cheating on Abigail, and last we saw her, she was on a terrible date with Lee. And she's reappearing at this exact moment? Coincidence? Maybe? But perhaps not. When she and Lee went on that blind date, Connie was overjoyed that he could be an attempted murderer. Lee, of course, pretended to be innocent, just to have Connie express her disappointment. She adored true crime and bad boys and had never been more turned on than when she was listening to the podcast about how he persuaded Harris into attempting to murder Stefan. That's more than a bit concerning, is it? Heck, it has all the characteristics of a deranged fan, waiting for the least provocation to tip her over into homicide. We never saw how the date ended or how she felt when Lee dropped her off. When she first appeared in that edited scene, head writer Ron Carlivati revealed she hurled a drink at Chad for cheating on Abigail. Julie Dove previously told Soaps.com that she understood Connie's motivations for attacking Chad. I'd had someone cheat on me before, she admitted. It broke my heart. And I really tapped into that during the speech. And I truly felt it at the moment. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.